cleaned it a bit, we discovered wood. We looked again and realized it's a boat. We moved along the wood. It was almost a 10-meter-long boat.
We felt we found a great discovery on an international level. Among the experts invited were marine archaeologist Shelley Waxman and his assistant Kurt.
We knew immediately this is an ancient boat. We didn't know how old it was, but we knew that it was ancient.
They touched it with a chisel once, and you saw two dancers up in the air.
Yeah, we did a little dance, and we're very excited.
A crazy race against time and odds started.
As soon as we started excavating it, we were in a sense destroying it. We were opening it up to the air, and the air was its enemy.
My first job as a conservator was to make sure the wood didn't dry out. It's waterlogged wood. The minute it dries out, it turns to powder. We had to use sprinklers, and people had to spray water on it all day long. An awning was built for shade.
The digging around such an ancient and big object required special care.
While we were digging, it became clear that we couldn't use tools near the wood. We had to use our bare hands. As the wood was so soft and spongy, our fingers just went right through it. Then it was time to decide how to move the boat. Experts from the port of Haifa arrived, engineers.
We went to the Air Force, the Navy, the port authorities, the airplane, the LF.
The Air Force offered us a helicopter.
At the end, it was Orna who came up with the idea of how to actually move the boat.
The solution found was to fill up and wrap the boat with polyurethane of fast-drying plastic foam. That's how we filled it up from the inside, but how do you fill it up from below? It's filled with mud, and if you remove the sand, it will fall over.
We solved that by digging channels the width of a person underneath the boat.
After digging the channels under the boat, they were filled with foam.
You spray the polyurethane, it expands and settles, and another channel can be made right away.
At the end, the entire boat was covered with polyurethane, and yet it was still not clear how to move it to dry land.
The most logical thing to do was to simply sail it on the Sea of Galilee, and then lift it out with a crane and place it on land.
We brought up the steam shovel, we dug a channel from the pit to the water, and we sailed the boat out. For the first time in 2,000 years, it was sailing on the waters of the Sea of Galilee.
And then the boat slowly began to come up. Everyone was so excited they had tears in their eyes. To sail in a 2,000-year-old boat is simply incredible. The following day, when the crane came to pull it out of the water, there was one very dangerous moment. One wrong move, and it could just disintegrate. The crane lifted the boat and placed it on the shore, and then we could breathe again. We understood that we'd done the first step. We'd completed something.
Over there, you see the different pieces and different parts of the country, different kind of trees. So when it was a big build a boat, so by the boat, the soil is important. The boat were not too big. Yeah, they said the carpenter had to come pretty often to fix it because it's not a big ship. Actually, this ship that we got stuck on, they come from Turkey. They make them in Turkey or Greece or something because over here is simply not enough wood to Pastor Joe, of course, will speak all about what happened here, but it's important to understand because there was that one in the Bible that Jesus saw this, that some of the people will become his disciples, and there were not successfully fishing, and he told him go to the deep. You can see when we walked out, there was a fisherman, a real fisherman, although he has an engine, which they didn't have in Jesus' days, but this is pretty much how they would actually fish. Not too far from the shoreline. Jesus told them go deep. Jesus was not a fisherman. They were fishermen. But he came from Nazareth. There's no sea, no water, and he told them what to do. So he said, go into the deep. And they said, well, they told him. But he said that it's probably not only deep physically, but deep into yourself. So you have to read the Bible, because you probably know in different ways, not only the story, but much more than just a story, a fairy tale for kids. Go to the deep, fishing, but instructions. It's much more than that. So this is why they were so astonished. This is the God. They didn't know much about fishing, and he tells them what to do. So they go there and they find a lot of fish. So they come back and say, forget about this, we'll go with this children. And he knows how to show us the way. Not about fishing. I'll make you a fisherman of men, not of this fish. So everything has happened right here. Maybe 10 minutes here driving or an hour walk. This is the port. Then we're going to go to Capernaum, a couple minutes away, Mount of Beatitude, Chorazin. So it's all about the same thing. It's all about what happened around here. This is the port. This is where the whole story. Everything comes from